Bitcoin is creating this huge warning signal. We are seeing a lot of bearish price action unfolding. This downtrend is not looking very strong for Bitcoin on a shorter time frame. Can Bitcoin turn things around? Today I will update you about Bitcoin and what is going to happen in the coming day. Slap up that like button and let's dive right into the charts. On the daily time frame we can see Bitcoin had multiple touch points on the top side as resistance, and earlier this week we saw a big rejection from this point, and we're now seeing a little bit of a downtrend for Bitcoin happening. And we want to see a revisit of this previous resistance and maybe break it to the top eventually. See a retest as support, and from there we can enter the market in the long and aim for higher prices. This is the biggest resistance for Bitcoin to beat, and for now we are seeing more downside from this point. So we have to be a little bit patient for what Bitcoin is going to do in the coming weeks. But we have to see a revisit of this resistance and maybe even break it. But we can also see the first big support level for Bitcoin is around here. We can see a lot of touch points in the past happening for Bitcoin here. So this is a very interesting interaction level for Bitcoin. We can see a lot of supports happening and also resistance. But for now we are back at its support level, and I expect that we are going to see a bounce from this level. And maybe we can revisit this area. And eventually the price is getting squeezed into this apex, and we will see a lot of volatility coming into the market, and eventually Bitcoin has to pick a side. Either way, we go to the top side, retest it as support, or we go to the downside and retest it as resistance and then come further back down. But for now, we have to be a little bit patient. And yesterday I was talking about this breakdown for Bitcoin. We saw a huge upward sloping support line for Bitcoin. We broke below it. We had a bearish retest. We retested this previous support as resistance, and then from that point we came further back down. And we can see we had a very bearish day yesterday, so we came down for 2.2%, and that's a very bearish day. We have to keep in mind that this will be a very interesting support level for Bitcoin, and we need to hold this support and maybe eventually even go see more topside from here. But of course we can also see more downside from here, because the breakdown target for this breakdown will be around the downside of this formation, and that will be around $58,000. So this is also a very possible scenario that we are going to see much lower levels from here. But we have to see what's going to happen for Bitcoin in the coming days. And we could see a lot more bearishness coming into the market, because we also saw a lot of outflow of the Bitcoin ETFs yesterday. We had an outflow of $226 million. That is huge. All the Bitcoin ETFs were selling yesterday. So in total, we saw a 226 million of outflow, and that is insane. And we can also see on the cumulative inflow that we are seeing a little bit of a downside for the Bitcoin spot ETF. We want to see that spike again to the top side, and then we will see more interesting numbers and more interesting price action for Bitcoin. But for now, we have to be a little bit patient. And this inverse head and shoulder for Bitcoin on the daily time frame is still in play. We saw a big rejection from this neckline resistance. But if we can maybe revisit this topside resistance again, then we can confirm that Bitcoin is still in this uptrend. And maybe even break it to the top side, retest the previous resistance as support, and from there we can aim for higher targets. And if we break it to the top side, the breakout target for this inverse head and shoulders will be around the $87,000. So that's an insane target. And if we break this neckline resistance to the top side, we have to wait for a confirmation of the breakout. And if we are coming back to test it as support, you can enter the market in the long from there. And from this neckline resistance touch as support to all the way to the 87,000, that will be a 21% increase. So that will be a very interesting gain. Keep in mind that we also can see more downside from here, and that we are going to test the lows again of this formation. And that was around $58,000. So we have to be a little bit more patient that what is going to happen for Bitcoin in the coming days. And if we then have a look at the 4-hour time frame, we can see Bitcoin was in this uptrend formation on the 4-hour time frame. We had some higher lows and some higher high structure, but for now Bitcoin is creating a lower low, because we can see here a low and then we saw a lower low. So the trend is a little bit down, and we also saw a lower high. So this means that the trend is looking a little bit like a reversal. We saw here a big uptrend happening, and now we're seeing a little bit more downside. So it looks like the 4-hour time frame is creating a more of a downtrend. We need to create a more uptrend to confirm that we are still in a bullish scenario. But overall, you can see we're still in this uptrend. and yeah, there's nothing really to worry about. But we can also see Bitcoin at this big support area on the 4-hour time frame, and yeah, we need to hold this level in order to remain a little bit more bullish. And the Ethereum Bitcoin pair is also a very interesting chart to look at. We can see we are in this huge falling wedge formation on the weekly time frame. When this pattern breaks to the top side, that means that Ethereum is becoming stronger against Bitcoin. But for now we can see a beautiful rejection from this point, and we are seeing lower level from here. So we can expect that we're going to see more downside from here and come back to this support area. So for now Bitcoin is looking a little bit more stronger than Ethereum, and also when this pattern breaks to the top side, maybe we can see the next alt season unfolding. But for now we are going a little bit more back down, and this support area will again be tested if you ask me. So when this pattern breaks out to the top side, we can see a lot more volatility coming into the markets. And we can also see the Bitcoin dominance is rising. We all know that Bitcoin is dropping, but in terms of Bitcoin dominance, we are seeing that this chart is rising. So Bitcoin has a lot more allocation in the total market. We can see Bitcoin is in this huge rising wedge formation to the top side, and a rising wedge formation is a bearish bias pattern because yeah, eventually this price will getting squeezed into this apex, and yeah, most of the times the chances are high that we're going to see a breakdown, a retest of this formation as a resistance, and then come further back down. So if we break to the downside and see more bearishness for the Bitcoin dominance, that means that a new alt season will unfold. And yeah, we could come back to this huge support area on the weekly time frame. And just like in the past, when this Bitcoin dominance is falling like crazy, then a new alt season is unfolding. But for now we can see this bearish pattern unfolding. So we have to wait for a breakdown and then a retest of the support into resistance. And then if we are seeing this downtrend on Bitcoin, we can maybe see a new alt season unfolding. And the first altcoin I want to have a look at is Solana. Solana has been in this yeah, beautiful uptrend since the bear market lows. We saw a huge rise here, and we also created a new all-time high. But for now we are seeing a little bit more downside because we are creating a lower high. So this downtrend is still happening. But for now, yeah, we broke below this support/resistance area. The first big support will be around this level, and it will be around the $120. So keep in mind that we could see a little more downside for Solana, and yeah, retest this support on the lower side. But we can also see a revisit of this resistance area of around the $170, and yeah, eventually maybe even break it to the top side and aim for a new all-time high. And previous all-time high was around $210. So that is still an insane gain to make for Solana. So you can still be bullish on Solana because this total trend is to the top side. And we can also see that Solana is in this huge uptrend to the top side. And currently we are at this big support area, and we see multiple touch points in the past as support. Yeah, we have to hold this support in order to become more bullish. And we want to see a bounce from this support and maybe revisit this resistance area. So yeah, we're back at this huge upward sloping support line, and this is a mega break point for Solana. Another interesting altcoin to talk about is vechain. Vechain is in this huge falling wedge formation on the daily time frame, and we're currently back at this huge support area. And yeah, we want to see this support is getting hold strong for vechain, and we can see a lot of touch points in the past as support and resistance. So this is a very interesting point for vechain. And a falling wedge formation is a bullish bias pattern, which most of the times breaks to the top side. So we want to see a break to the top side, a confirmation of the breakout, and then a retest of the previous resistance to turn it into support, and from there we can aim for high targets. And the breakout target for vechain will be the top side of the formation, and that will be around the $5. So that is an insane trade to make for vechain. And if we measure it from the point of where we are now, it will still be a 73% gain. So that is a huge trade for make for it for now. We have to be a little bit more patient that we are going to see a breakout for this formation, and we have to wait for the breakout confirmation. And on the weekly time frame, it doesn't even look very bearish to me because we can see a lot of downside happening. We broke above the huge resistance area, and now we are retesting it as support. So from there we can maybe see more bullish continuation to the top side, because the chart looks like it was bottomed out, and now we are going to see more uptrend for vechain. And still in the end, I'm very bullish on vechain, and I think we will see levels around the 10 cents very soon. So there's a lot of upside potential for vechain in the coming months. And let me know in the comments what you think of vechain and what your price prediction will be for vechain in this year. So I hope you find this video useful. Follow me on Twitter for daily crypto content. and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.